Hi, good morning. Thank you all for coming, and we are not going to wait any minute from now, so for giving us this opportunity. We've not heard any bad news. We pray something like that never comes up. Take us through. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Okay, sir.
Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? But unfortunately, because I have to travel back home this morning, and there's mad traffic going to the airport, so I'm going to try to have to do this properly. I'm going to give you a quick synopsis of who I am, where I come from, how I built the brand, and we suppose we're going to be dealing a bit in the business of fashion. So, I studied fashion in 1994. Some of you were not even born. Yeah, and I graduated in 1998. And from there, I lectured fashion for 4.5 years at Vaal University of Technology. I lectured fashion at Vaal University of Technology, and I specialized in computer-aided design. I also lectured creative designs and grading. And yeah, I come from a very, I would say, interesting country whereby, Eric, can we please switch off this overhead projector, because I don't think we're going to use it. Is there more people coming in? Yes. Okay. So, in the journey of me trying to find myself, it's been quite an interesting one, because as I was studying fashion, I kind of like gravitated towards high-end instead of doing streetwear and ready-to-wear. And over the years, I just realized that I'm much more of a high-end designer. And when I did my final year, or my third year, before my fourth year, I did a collection for wedding dresses and did very well. And I think during the years of my study, I was like a very hardworking person, still am even today. I had to make a choice of, I focused on my studies and nothing else, and no nice time, no parties and everything else. The result of that is that I was the best student in my second year, in my third year, and my fourth year. And that led me to become the first black lecturer in my university, because in my country, I mean, as you may know, the history of South Africa, we're very much colonized, and this university I went to was much Afrikaans driven. And then I was one of the fortunate black boys to make it. But that doesn't happen like that. You have to work for it. And from the early age, I realized that hard work pays. If you don't work hard, nothing comes to you. If you work hard, everything comes to you. Opportunity comes to those who are passionate, who are just like, how do I say it? They give themselves fully to their calling. I realized that I am in this industry. I would say it is a calling for me, because over the past 18 years, full-time in the industry, my life has changed. I've changed and touched people's lives with the industry, with the brand that we have, TLALE. I want to focus first of all on education, because most of the young people today, they think we can do shake and bake. You know what shake and bake is? The quick, ready mix, scone mix, just pour milk and bake. It's not like that. It's not a drive-through. It's hard work. All right? First of all, you have to stay in school. You have to finish school. You have to get educated. Do not rush to start your own brand. Do not rush to be called a designer, because our industry has been watered down to like anybody can become a designer today. Anybody that does not even understand what neckline suppression is or dart manipulation is, he or she is a designer. And for me, that's an insult, because as a designer, you are a creative who is able to come up with concept, who is able to sketch, who is able to make patterns, who is able to sit behind the machine and put together a garment, who is able to finish the product with excellence. Very importantly, excellence takes time. For you to be excellent, it means you are going to make your patterns. It means you're going to make a trial or a sample for the garment. Very importantly, at the house of David TLALE, even today, whether we are making a blouse or a skirt or a suit, a wedding dress, everything we do for a client, we have to make a sample. You can't take it for granted that, no, I know this pattern is perfect, unless it's something we do in production. But the once-off or custom-made garments, we make samples for each and every client. And never be lazy to repeat a sample if it went wrong. Do not try to wing it and say, I'll fix the pattern and cut it and think it's right. Because fabric or patterns will show you flames. Are you with me? Because many a times we think we understand how patterns work. We don't. It's scientific. But it can't be proven that when you do this and that it works. No. You have to make the pattern, cut it, put it on the mannequin or on the client, and see if it works. That's the only way to test it. Right? And over and above that, take time. Take time. Do not rush. I know some of you are like 18 years, some of you are like younger than that. But at the end of it all, in the 18 years of my full time in this business, I still make mistakes. I still get disappointed. I still find fabrics just showing me flames like, no, I'm not working with you today. Do you understand? So it's very important to take time. Try, fail, try again, fail, try again. Then you get it right. Education gives you all the basics that you need in the industry. Oh, but before I even continue, the students that came to work with us from Thursday, Friday, where are they? Friday, please stand up. Just stand up, I mean, like really. I just want to say thank you very much to all of you guys. You've been amazing. And I appreciate each and every minute that you spent with me. And I hope you learned and saw how some of the things that you do, it's not everything that you do. You just saw the end finished product of it. But thank you very much. And hopefully next time when you do something else, you'll still be there. All right? I just wanted to appreciate you. And thank you, Eric, for that. So I want to say, once you have perfected your patterns, once you've perfected your sample, then you can cut your fabric. Make sure that you use the very important basic things. Understand the power of a grain line. We all understand what a grain line is. You've taught them a grain line, right? Understand the power of a grain line. The grain line is the most stupid thing under the sun as you look at it. But it is the most powerful. It can make you or break you. How many of us have been shown flames by not adhering to the rules of a grain line? When you don't put your pattern in accordance to your grain line, and then you cut the skirt or your pants, let's do the pants, because those are the ones that really show quicker. Have you ever find yourself that you've cut the pants, whatever, and then you start putting it together, you wear it, and you find the seam, the inseam, moving to the front. Have you seen that happening? Why? Because of a grain line. Because you've moved your grain, or actually you didn't even follow the grain. Because immediately the seam moves front to the, on your inner leg, it simply shows that it's off grain. You can try to press it, you can try to stretch it, you can try to fuse it. At the end of it all, it's still gonna tilt to the front. Then there's another powerful tool that most of us as students, or even when I was a student, I did not adhere to it. A notch. Why do we have notches in our patterns? Tell me, why do we have notches in our patterns? Huh? So that the seams get matched, right? But what do? We don't have the time. You want to cut and just put it together. And guess what? Because you don't have notches from your pattern, I'm not even talking about putting frills, lace, I'm talking about basics. Alright? When you don't have notches in your patterns, you're going to see flames continuously. And if you do not train your mind right now and think you're going to control the fabric or wing it all the time, you are not going to win. As young people, as Africans as well, we have this tendency of wanting to take shortcuts all the time. Now, because you've seen your tailor or your grandmother who was a dressmaker or your great-grandmother who made clothes or something, you just saw them winging it. Their skill and your skill is not the same. Because they had to teach themselves how to do this. And guess what? They mastered it. And then you sit there, you look at them not doing patterns, they just like draw a pattern on the fabric, cut, and boom, they come up with an amazing jacket or something. I have a tailor like that in my studio. They don't make patterns, but they cut from the fabric. And the tailoring is impeccable. It's another skill, but you can't say, I'm going to look at it and just like it do it. No, you got to go learn that. All right? So, it's very, very important. People say we're going to come and listen to David TLALE and be mentored by him. I don't teach fashion. I can't show you fashion. But today, in this next 10 minutes that I have with you here, I'm going to give you life principles. Because if you are a principled designer, it becomes very simple to prosper. The 5 principles that you should have is love. You should love yourself. Becomes easy for you to love the next person. Becomes easier to love what you do. And when you love, you're going to do everything in your power to make sure that what you do is excellent. Am I right? How many of you have been in and out of relationships? All of us. Right? And what went wrong along the journey? Did we understand what love is? No. Because we keep going out there looking for something that we don't know, we are thinking that we will find love out there, but you can't give yourself love. It's just like being a designer. You want to be like Marc Jacobs, you want to be like Balmain, Olivier Rousteing, but you don't understand who you are. You don't understand your capabilities. You don't understand what makes you tick. You don't understand what turns you on. But here you are, wanting to find someone to come and complete you and fulfill your needs, when you can't fulfill yourself. I think some of us are looking back like, oh, this is why this relationship never works. Same applies with passion. You don't understand the passion that you have. You don't understand the skill that you have. But here you are wanting to be like David TLALE, or be David TLALE, or be Tula Cindy, or be Christy Brown, or be Itiola Seko or be my Atako. No, hold on. Those people are doing their own thing. Question, who am I? What do I really like? What am I passionate about in my design journey? Am I a wedding dress designer, or am I a tailor, or am I a pattern maker, or am I an amazing machinist, or am I a grader? But we all become so fixated in this glamour zone of an industry where we think we all can be fashion designers. I don't know how many of you are here are going to graduate and become amazing. Yes, you can be here. I'm going to tell you the honest truth. You can be here. Not all of you are going to make it. Not all of you are going to be great until you decide to be so. In my first year of studies, when we enrolled, we were 50. In our second year, we were 12. In our third year, we were 4. When you graduated, we were 2. Fashion is not computer literacy subject. It's all about, it's everything from inside. Nobody can tell you this is what it is. You tell yourself this is what it is. Now, when you understand who you are and what you love, what are you going to do? You are going to work hard at it. All right? This is principle number 2, which is now discipline. You are going to be disciplined to what? To work on your love. For what? For what you do. So discipline means you don't wake up at 8 like everybody else and get to work at 10 and knock off at 3. You don't do that. Some of those who were working with us, they saw. On a daily basis, I wake up anything between 4 and 5 a.m. I go to bed anytime 10, 11, 12, depending on what I'm doing. And I still put all this together. And you don't know how I do it. I deal with my business. I deal with my customers. At the house of David TLALE, when I started all by myself. I was the pattern maker, I was the cutter, I was the fabric buyer, I was the grader, I was a machinist, and then I was doing everything by myself. So anyone that comes to work with us at the business, you can't come and tell me anything else, because I know everything. I'm not a master in everything, but I know what I want. That's why when I employ people, I'm like, I hear what you say. You say an amazing tale. Okay, great. Sit and put this together, and then we can take it from there. Because I know the technicalities of making a garment. Right? Because what have I done? I've went to school, I've done it myself, and now I employ people to do it for me so I can come to Ghana and talk to you while the business is going on. Are you with me? So, what I'm trying to say is, discipline is going to push you to do things differently. Oh, I'm tired, I want to rest. If you rest, you're going to be like the rest. If you don't get this principle today, you will never ever get it anywhere else. You want to rest, you'll be like the rest. Because the rest of the people are not making it in life. But if you work hard, bend the midnight oil, and work and say, I will rest one day, guess what happens? Your work follows you. Excellence follows you. I'm not going to sleep until this thing is done. I'm not going to sleep until I perfect this collar. I'm not going to sleep until I finish my assignments. I'm not going to sleep until I am excellent in everything that I do. That's discipline. And when you are disciplined, what do on things that you can't do? When you get home, you practice them, because practice does not make perfect. Practice makes permanence. I think we spoke about it the last time. Practice makes permanence. Because the more you practice, understanding the power of a grain line continuously and putting a grain line on on your parents all the time and marking the notches. When you do it every day, it becomes a part of your DNA. You don't have to think twice about it. It's like, wait, where are the notches? Where's the grain line? All those basic principles, they become permanent. They become part of your DNA. That's part of discipline. When you are disciplined and say, my patterns must be perfect all the time, guess what? Permanently, you're going to want a perfect pattern. That's a principle that nobody will teach you in the world but you yourself. Nobody will teach you to be disciplined but you. Nobody. You can come to the best school, you can be lectured by the best designer or anything on earth, we all walk away. At the end of it all, it's you and your life. You cannot blame the government or the education system or anything else. The only person that you need to deal with is you. You can't even say in Accra we have very limited resources. No. Your resources are here, in your hands. The resource is here. Are you with me, guys? Do I make sense? Am I helping you? When you are disciplined, you become different than the next person. Because disciplined people, you move away from things that do not add any value in your life. But you only work and embrace things that add value in your journey. Now, we spoke about love, we spoke about passion, we spoke about what? Discipline. Right? When you are disciplined, it leads you to do nothing else but committed. You have to be committed to your journey. You have to be committed to your industry. You cannot treat the fashion industry or your brand or anything that you do as a side chick. Do you know side chicks? Who is one? Maybe you don't know that you are one. You cannot treat this industry as a side chick. It's either you're in or you're out. Me, myself, as I get to the airport, as I fly, as I get home, I'm a designer. Full on. I'm not going to be a designer and a musician, and then the other day I'm a stylist, the other day, no. My name is TLALE. I'm a fashion designer. Now, you need to decide, who are you? When you have discovered and determined who you are, guess what? Love comes in. Discipline comes in. Commitment comes in towards your journey, towards who you are or who you want to be. Now, you can't keep on living, sucking in air on a daily basis as if like there's no tomorrow. You gotta have a vision. Very importantly. You can't just say, I'm coming to TADS to get educated and I'll see what's gonna happen. There's no time to see at a later stage. As you come to TADS, you must have decided, okay, I want to be in the industry. Now you understand what the industry is about. What do? You start planning and building your vision. Vision boards are power. If you do not have a vision board and you're a designer, you're wasting your time. If you don't have a vision board and you're starting here at TADS, you're wasting your time. What does vision board do for you? It reminds you of your journey. You may not have it, but this is where you're going. Alright? Now, all of us here, it don't matter what you believe in. Muslim, Christian, Catholic, whatever it is, it don't matter. We are all created by God. We are made in the image and the likeness of God. Now, when God said, let there be light, there was light. When he said, let there be a sky, there were skies. Isn't it? Now, what have you spoken in your life that let there be a David TLALE, a global brand. Have you spoken that in your life? No. It's just like, I'm going on, I'll see. No. I have spoken, let there be David TLALE, a global brand made in Africa. Boom. There was. It's not there, it's vision. Right? Now that we see this vision, we're building a global brand made in Africa. What do? Go back, study, learn, grow, build, because we are going where? To that vision. Now, if you don't see where you're going, it's a big problem. You can spend all the money in the world, go to the best schools in Italy, in Paris, or in America, and it don't matter. Okay? You must have a vision. Because on a daily basis, you'll wake up with a purpose of saying, today I want to achieve A, B, C, and D. Now, if you don't have those 3 things or 5 things that you want to do today, you're just going to continue with life. Now, you wake up with purpose. When you go to bed with reflection. Now, if you've written 5 things and you've achieved 3, you've done well. Then the other 2, maybe you failed or resources were not there. Then tomorrow, you continue with it again. You try to do them again. But you end up. You don't repeat what you've done yesterday. It's already done. It's history. You can't repeat it. Right? I always say to the people that come to our studio, especially young designers, and my friends say, aren't you scared they will steal your designs? I'm like, yeah, they can steal it. It's already history. I've done it. And the world will know that they've stolen it. There's only one David TLALE, and no one will do it like I do. That's why no one will do it like you do. Why? Because you're in love with you, you're passionate about what you do, you're disciplined with what you do, you're committed to what you do. And people may come and go and try to steal your ideas, but guess what? They'll never do it like you do. They don't have the passion and the fire that is in you. That's what it is. So, you build your journey based on your vision. Understanding the business of fashion is a simple thing. It's just like taking a textbook and just doing it. The reason we fail is because we just treat this as if we're just making clothes. We're not making clothes, this is business. It's big. It's great. And for me to be able to get where we are as a business David TLALE, it was through a lot of intention, a lot of traveling, a lot of asking of questions, a lot of really being curious and inquisitive about the industry at large. One young man asked me, David, like, how I wanna grow and be like you. I'm like, no, you won't. You can't be like me. There's already me. You must be like you. You must find your own journey. I can tell you the things that I did they determine how I am today? No, they didn't. I know what pushed me to be who I am. And because people keep on asking me what is the greatest opportunity or achievement that you've ever gotten in your life, I'm like, the day I made a decision to quit auditing class in university, that's the day that everything fell into place. Because I was starting to become an internal auditor, and I was bored. I was like, I'm not doing this. And I made a decision that I'm walking away. And that day, I will always bless in my life, because if I never did that, I wouldn't be talking to you today. That's when I found David. That's when I met David. And I fell in love with David. And then guess what I did? I went to school to study. I worked hard. Like I said, I was the best student. I lectured fashion. I entered for our national competition. I've received awards in my country, in the continent, in America. Because what? Of that day that I made that decision of quitting auditing. you see the power of understanding what you want? And immediately you make that decision that this is what I want. It don't matter what will come along the journey. It doesn't matter how hard it will be. Look, I know it sounds like it's so simple and it is so easy. Don't worry, I've bent my fingers. I've been on newspapers for bad debts, credit, like not having money, not being able to pay for my rent. Don't worry, I can tell you today, it's not easy. It sounds amazing, but it's not easy. Okay? And that's why I said, all of you is great. I can see you here today. Let's talk 10 years from here. How many will still be alive in the industry? All right? I always say to my interns or young designers that I train, fashion is not for sissies. You can't be faint-hearted. You must have a thick skin. You must be bold. You must have like this bull strength to say, I'm going in for a kill. You're like, oh, it's not working out. Oh, I'm crying. We used to have like students in my class, when the dress is not working out, you find them crying. And then they go home, their mother fixes it, and then they pass because of the color of their skin. Like, go home, I'll see you. And today, who's smiling? I am. And where are they? We don't know. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm saying, when you come to school, don't waste your time. Give your best. On a daily basis, give your best. And remember that life is no guarantee. All we have is here and now. Tomorrow is nothing but a promise. Question is, if you have to fall down and die today, what have you done with your life? How many people have you impacted? How many people will remember you? I'm not teaching creatives, guys. I'm teaching life principle. So as you get in this industry, ask yourself, who am I? What am I doing? Where am I going? Now, if you come in the industry, bring something special. Bring something amazing. Do not try to be a Christy Brown. We already have her. Do not try to become David TLALE. We already have him. Are you with me? Come with something that is going to change the world. How we change the world is by being the best in everything that you do. Have a competitive spirit, not with other people, but with yourself. To say, yes, yesterday I did this, but today, how can I better what I did yesterday? And as you do that, you don't focus on what other designers are doing. Great, wonderful for them, but what are you doing to become the best of you? The best of your abilities lies in you, not on looking at what Eric is doing, what David is doing, but it lies within you. As a current generation in Africa, we have a huge responsibility of changing the status quo, even the narrative of how the world views the fashion that is made in Africa, not African fashion. Fashion, what does fashion mean? What is the meaning of fashion? Huh? What is the meaning of fashion? Somebody. Anybody. What is the meaning of fashion?
So me, fashion is style.
Style. Style is something else. Yes?
It's an acceptable look of the given society.
Thank you very much. It's an acceptable or accepted look by the society at a given time. That's fashion. It doesn't say Africa, it doesn't say Europe, it doesn't say America. Then style comes in. It's an African style, American style, European style, Egyptian style, Moroccan style, the Baroque style. That's how a particular region puts it together. And then a particular, I would say, here, cultures or tradition have a particular way of dressing. That's a style. But that's not fashion. It's a style. It's how they do it. Now, people keep talking about African fashion. I'm like, no. It's fashion that is made in Africa. All right? Does it make sense? Let me break it down to you. If someone comes to buy a product in any store, they don't know who the designer is, they are just passing by, they walk in, they're like, oh my God, I love the blouse. They buy. They don't buy it because it's made in Africa or it's African fashion. They love it because it looks good. Right? Fashion is art. What you see speaks to your heart. Your heart speaks to your mind speaks to your hand, to reach for it into your pocket, pull out the credit card or the CDs and pay for it. That's art. Fashion is art. It don't matter where it's made. We buy beautiful clothes because why? We are attracted to those items. Now, I've spoken about all this as I wrap it up. The business of fashion, it's all about understanding where you belong. Because not all of us are going to be designers. Some of you are going to be amazing buyers. Some of you are going to be amazing pattern makers. Some of you are going to be amazing merchandisers. Some of you are going to be amazing machinists. And it's okay. Because this industry has got a massive value chain. Alright? A simple example, what we do as the House of David TLALE. I'm the creative director. I've got a pattern maker. We've got cutters, got machinists, got pressers, finishers, and graders. And we've got the administrative team. We've got the creative team that does the graphics and the prints. And then we've got the printing team that print our own fabric. And all this happens in one business. Can you understand? I don't do all that. I speak our vision to say, as David TLALE, this is the direction that we are taking this season. And everybody that I have mentioned now plays the part in making sure that this vision comes to play. But you cannot get there if you have not learned and found yourself, this is what I specialize in. Are you with me? As you've done that, you understand that the collections that you create, you have to be able to cost them. How much it costs to make a garment. Sadly, we don't know how to do costing. We're just like, oh, I'll charge you 700 cedis for this dress. You've forgotten the time that you're going to spend to go to the market, the taxi fare, the electricity that you're using, your skill, the fabric, the pattern making, the fitting, and the finishing of the garment. Can you see how many things I've counted? How many of us have costed that in your journey as you make clothes? We don't. We just think, well, okay, fine, I'll just charge you 1,000 cedis for this dress. But you haven't even charged the person for a consultation fee. But only when you're established. While you're still young, there's no consultation fee. But once you're established, you've got an office, you've got a phone, you've got people that work with you, you charge consultation fee. Because as a doctor, what do? When you go to see a doctor, you pay what? Consultation fee. And then they give you a script, and then they say, we're going to take a test, come back, we'll give you the results. You pay to go get the results. Imagine. So now as designers, people are like, no, make me a dress. Like, but there's consultation fee. Guess what? I'm the doctor of your wardrobe. I'm solving your malfunctioning wardrobe so that you can look amazing. You must take yourself seriously. If you come into the industry, you must realize that this is a business. You're not just making clothes, it's a business. And you must grow from you only to an entire business. How we started as a business, like I told you, I was a one-man show. I started employing 3 people. It was 8 people, 15, 27. Today, as the House of David TLALE, we employ 47 people on a full-time basis. Do you understand? But all this comes from what I spoke about earlier. Building a global brand, having a vision, where you're going. And then go back, start by yourself. Can you see how it all comes together? I started working by myself. Now I have a team that is supporting the global vision, so I can go globally and establish so that we can distribute globally. the biggest thing that we need to be doing right now as an African generation is that we must build locally, but think globally. Build locally, but think globally. When you do a collection, perfect timing. When you do a collection, you must realize that you are not doing this collection just to be fancy. You're getting into business. When I started out, I didn't know that I'm going to be a business person. I thought I'm just like studying fashion. Thank God, I think like in my second year into the business full time, I was like, actually I'm a businessman now. And what I deal with, I don't deal with only designs, I deal with logistics, I deal with customers, I deal with image of the business, I deal with everything else. Yes, I do design, but the biggest thing right now is like, how do I pay rent? How do I pay my people on time? How do I make sure that I'm doing all these things? Do you understand? I'm no longer just like that person that was just like, oh, sketch, cut, make. No, it's a bigger thing now. It's a bigger basis. So you have to allow yourself to grow. Like a little child when they were born, what happens? They start first by being breastfed, right? From there, they start having formula. From formula, then they start having mash and stuff, and then they start learning to crawl. From crawling, what do? They start holding on things. That's the same principle with building a brand. Don't say, I've got money, boom, get into the industry. You're gonna fail, and you're gonna crash, and you'll never come back. Allow yourself to grow.
Check your internet connection and try again.
No, not today. So, allow yourself to grow, allow yourself to fail, allow yourself to learn. Learning is key. Before you establish your business, go to there's so many designers that are in Accra. Go and do internship programs. And don't expect to be paid. Young people want to be paid all the time. When I did internship, I never got even a cent, but I was working like a slave. But today, look at me. Do you understand? You invest in your future. You invest in your destiny. You invest your time. You invest in someone's vision so that they can grow, so that one day, let me tell you this one thing. I always say to my interns, you guys actually are supposed to pay the House of David TLALE or any other brand that you go and learn from. Because the information and experience that you get from a particular business, you'll never get it at school. Never. You'll never be exposed to techniques and also how to do products from concept to finished product, to retail. At school, you don't do that. Right? So I'm saying that's an investment part that you can give to yourself. And once you have that experience, remember, nobody can take it away from you. Because you have learned, someone has imparted knowledge and skill in you. When you run your own business, you are now excellent. Yes, you've been to school, great, doesn't make you great. You've got basics. Now go to the industry, go and learn. Because what internship does or leadership program does to you, it helps you understand, do I really want to be in this industry? Because this industry is But I'm going to ask you guys to take time to visit the store and go see how they've curated the African designers. It's going to grow, it's going to be amazing. But you're going to see the vision that I'm talking about. We are stocking up at the lot. There's Christy Brown, and there's Sukaina from New York. There's many other designers as well. But go do this for yourself. Go visit it. Look at the product. I don't mind saying when you get to our store, because the concept is store within a store. When you get into our store, you can take time. Look at the garments on the inside, how it's made, how it's finished. It's very important. If I want, I can wear this jacket inside out. Why? Because we focus on the craftsmanship at the House of David TLALE. Your lecturer here He gets fascinated all the time. Yesterday I was working, he was busy checking out my stitches. I'm like, why are you checking me out? I'm like, just come down. For me, it's all about that. So when you get to the store, I can't teach you these things. You must go and see them. Because fashion is practical. So if you go and see the product, how it's made, you look at Christy Brown, you look at Sukaina, that's where you should be. For me, that's how we become better on a daily basis as a business. Remember, it's not how fabulous you are, it's not about how beautiful the fabrics that you use are, it's the craftsmanship. The craftsmanship is the same thing that I spoke about earlier. The darts, the notches, the samples, the fitting. Because there's nothing as worse, here you are, you've made a wedding dress for someone, and the only thing they're doing the whole day is lifting this corset. Why? Are your tips painful? No, the dress is falling. Why is it falling? Because the designer did not do the right thing. Yes, we see the frills, we see the feathers, we see the beads, fine, but why is this corset falling? Why? Is it because it's made in Africa? No, but some lazy person decided not to do corsetry properly, did not fuse, did not put on boning, nothing. Did not do bust line suppression. That's why the dress is falling apart. I'll see you in 2 months. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So please, will you take some of your questions? 5 minutes, okay. We have 5 minutes. There is microphone. Any question? If you have a question, please.
All right, 5 minutes of questions. Don't go to Accra Market and come back. Get to the question.
My name is Michelle Azuma. So I want to know, when was the moment that you decided that this is it, I have to expand my brand? Because you mentioned you started off as a one-man doing it all alone. So I just want to know when you decided to expand.
I didn't decide. The day I decided to put out the vision, what happens? I feed onto it. And you don't know when you need to expand. But the workload tells you that this is time to do it. Remember, there is no manual in fashion. I can tell you this for sure. When I did my 4th year, I had to do a business plan for my business. Something's happening. I had to do a business plan for my business and also for my thesis. I tried to apply the business plan to start my business. Nothing worked. Nothing worked. I did marketing, and then it needed marketing, finances, and nothing worked. But then I was like, scrapped this business plan. I started from scratch with nothing. And I started building. Now, I don't have a business plan, but I can tell you my history, how I have grown until this far, and where I am going. I can do projections. I can't say in 3 months, this is where we're going to be. Because why? This pandemic that has showed us flames and has pushed us, all of us, as business people, to think differently. And that's why I can't say to you, this was the time. Imagine when we decided like in 2020, we would have stores in New York and Paris. Did it happen? Boom, nothing happened. What do? We are rebuilding back in Africa right now. And as a business person, you must always be flexible. When the vision tarries, you must be able to be creative, to go around. Even if it takes you 4 years to come back here and you do it. Don't say, no, this is the one, this is the one, it's not working today, because you must take a detour and then come back to it again, and then you're great. Next.
Thank you very much. Please, for someone who had to finish school and start a profession before realizing they are calling in fashion, what would be your counsel for transitioning into it full-time?
Go learn from someone else. Go be an intern. Go and be someone's slave. That's what it is. Being an intern is slavery. It's horrible, but guess what? You come out shining. Remember, when you want gold, you have to go through the fire to be gold. You don't get gold from the ground and it's gold. No, it has to be processed. So you have to go and learn from someone else. You are just graduated, allow yourself to grow. Allow yourself to learn. Because maybe you're still in an interim session whereby you're like trying to figure out whether you're turning right or left or forward, or you're just pausing. Go learn from someone. Because after that, you'll realize exactly where you're going.
So I want to know the recent decision you've ever made in your fashion.
The what?
Yeah, how do I say it? The risk, like.
Risk?
Yeah.
Yeah? I took a risk by coming here.
And I want to know how you knew this is the target you wanted to make. The target you wanted to make. I don't know how to.
Let me answer you. All right? You want to ask me how did I know this will work, or what risk did I take to do this? I'm a very spiritual man. I'm grounded in the Word of God and in the power of God. I live by faith. And faith doesn't tell you you have 20 cities, then go do it. It says by faith, you take the first step, and then it works. Now, faith is risky. And if you are not very grounded, you'll see flames. So I take risks every day, and the one thing I've done in my life is that I give my business one more day. I took a risk by coming to Accra in May to say, let me launch with the lot. Guess 5 months later, I've been coming here every month. Because why? The first step has led to the second step. It has led to getting more customers. Eric, he can tell you after this, I think what you should do is to allow the learners to share the experience they had. As we have set up the store from that to how we were closing sales yesterday, it's a journey. And if I never took that first step, or that leap of faith, or that first risk, I don't think we would be here today. So, like I said, there's no manual. It's all about you. It's art, it comes from within. 2 more questions and we're done. 1, 2, and done. Yeah?
So my question is, as we are saying, fashion entails a lot. It's not from illustration to pattern and sewing. So that means that as an individual, I need to know how to illustrate, at the same time know how to do patterns, at the same time know how to sew, before I can become a designer. And what if I'm not good at sewing or illustrating? Maybe my strength is in pattern making. How do I go about the fashion design?
But that's what I said. Because the more you do, you find your passion, right? At school or whatever you do, the journey is you learn everything until you find what you're good at. And when you find it, that's what you specialize in. Remember, not many people want to be pattern makers. But can I tell you, there's so much money in pattern making than being a designer. You know why? As a designer, you have to buy fabric, you have to please the client and everything else. But as a pattern maker, if there's like 5 excellent pattern makers in Accra, all the designers will be coming to you. You'll be busy, booked, and paid on a daily basis. Whether the dress works or not, but you've done a great job. No, but that's what it is. You know why? Because you've made patterns, you've tested them, and they're excellent. You move on. You don't have to worry with anything else. But everybody wants camera, take a bow after the show. No, it's not about that. Make patterns and excel and grade and run that service of being a pattern maker in Accra. If you become an excellent tailoring pattern maker, you do that. It's just we have been conditioned to think in one way. We don't realize that, in this whole thing called fashion, there's so many other facades that we can get into and make more money than people that actually are sitting there and taking pictures and walking the red carpet. Do you understand? You can be powerful in your own right as a pattern maker. And you'll be surprised what you're capable of. Last question.
So, how do you come up with new ideas, like new designs, without having ideas if someone else has made such piece before?
You're asking me how do I breathe, basically. Do you get it? Are you asking me how do I breathe?
No.
You're asking me how do I walk? I mean, like, I'm looking at you right now. You don't know what's going on in my mind. Remember, I told you, my name is David TLALE. I'm a fashion designer. You don't see what I see. By the time I leave here, I already have a concept for the new collection. Most of the time are designs and collections that we do in a particular time in life. They've been designed 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. When we make them, we just like making them come to pass. So there's never a moment that I'm saying, okay, I'm coming up with a new idea. I walk, breathe, live, speak fashion on a daily basis. And sometimes I don't have to sketch. I take fabric, I start draping, and the garment comes out. So basically, that's why I'm asking you. Are you asking me, how do I breathe? Last question, are you done? One more, done with you. I have to go.
Like I meant the clothes you're wearing, you're the one that designed it.
Yeah.
Now, you think you're the one that designed it first, but maybe someone else.
No, I've never said that.
No, that's the question I'm asking.
Okay.
Yes, because you might be thinking that you're the first person and someone else has made it. How does it work?
Okay, cool. So let me explain to you. Under the sun, nothing is new. A shirt is a shirt, a dress is a dress, pants is a pants, a gilet is a gilet. Question is, how do I personalize it to make it David TLALE? How do I style it to make it David TLALE? That's where your question is. Question is, how do I want it to be remembered as a David TLALE? That's when the creative process comes in, which I'm not going to tell you. Thanks. Yes, Kobe.
Sir, please, how do you stay updated with the new trend in the fashion industry?
By improving on my skills on a daily basis and checking what I've done last season and not focus on what everybody else is doing and just make sure that I become excellent on a daily basis. That's how I become relevant. And a lot of research, a lot of checking what other people are doing but not copying it. There's a difference between learning and referencing and copying. There's two different, it's major. Other people, they're like, Mama has done this, I'm doing it. No, that's copy. So you gotta look at what they're doing. These are the trends. And once you're as a designer, you realize that things just happen naturally. It has happened with me and our collections and many other times that we decide that we're going this route and this color this season, and only to find that it's actually the color of the season. But it's a creative bug that happens globally. And very few people are anointed with that bug. For you to get into it, you gotta work very hard. You don't pay for it, it comes to you. I love you, and I'll see you. I come back. Eric, I'm out.
So we are very, very glad and we are very happy for you giving us this opportunity. Thank you very much. Please help me thank you to him.
Can I have my phone, please? Thanks. Sorry.
We are almost wrapping up. Mr. Michael is going to talk to you about something and then we'll just wrap it up from there. Thank you.
I hope I helped you guys, right? Yes. When I see you in 2 months, I'm going to see motivated team and amazing students and designers and everybody. All right?
Meaning we'll have this again in 2 months. Thank you.
Hoping that as time goes on, we organize programs like this so that it will help every creative designer. And from time to time, you might be hearing from us, all right? And please let me see those of us who are already students, not necessarily TADS or maybe different schools or something, already students. All right, and those of us who are not students, but you are doing your own machine design. And wow, and those of us who are raising our hands, we are not into fashion at all. We are not into fashion at all.
We are.
See, let me see your hands if you are not into fashion at all. You're not too passionate. Alright, so thank you for coming. This is TADS. I know you've heard a lot about TADS. So, those of us who want to make an inquiry about the school, administration office up there, the class and and thanks to the class and you need to AC as well. So you can make an inquiry about the school and then we'll take it from there, alright? And as a matter of fact, anyone who is, I think someone might be thinking about enrolling with TADS, we are having a promotion going on right now, discount is going on. And I think that is very, very cheap. Because the regular is 2,500, but currently we are running a promotion and then we are going for 2,500. I'm not sure about the price, but it's around 1,500 per semester. So you can go there and go and make the inquiries for yourself. And thank you once again for coming. And we hope that next time when we see you, it will be fire. Alright? And I hope all of us registered whilst entering. If you didn't register, you can please write your name and the number before you go out. Alright. Thank you.